is under this like square root x minus 7. So I would set that to 0.
Like this?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, you set it greater than or equal to 0.
0. Right. I wrote that down.
Add 7 to both sides. X is greater than or equal to 7. And so you start noticing patterns. Like if it's a greater than, it's always the number to.
So it'll be 7 comma positive infinity. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
Okay, perfect. That makes so much more sense. Okay. Okay, yeah, I'll share my screen again here in a second. I'm just gonna pick a topic that I just might need some clarification. Let's see. Okay, one sec. Okay, I'll share my screen. Sure. Yeah, so this is like a word problem.
Okay, right, got it. Let me yeah, go ahead and start a problem here.
Okay, so
all right, so let me grab 2 snips. First one. All right, I am about to share screens here so you can see. Same thing you're just looking at, of course, but it says let that load.
I see your screen.
All right, what is the amount of water in the tank at 0 minutes? So you're going up at 0.
Yeah, that one was easy. Yeah,
pretty straightforward.
That'd be
Okay.
150.
All right, so choose the statement that best describes how the time and amount of water are related. So as time increases, they both say that the amount of water in the tank. Okay, so the difference here is increase, decrease. Increase means that, decrease means that.
Right.
And then these means the slope, depending on which option you're choosing. Where I was going with that one. So you just go to another really nice point on the graph there, and it has to hit perfectly. And so slope, as you know, is rise over run. You're going up. How much are you going up? Well, you're going up 2 of these, but they're 50 each. So it's 100 over 1. 100 liters.
So it's increasing by 100.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's really simple.
So if this is, you know, if you got this down, I would recommend just keeping your screen shared, and I can sort of check you, or you can save this for later if you want.
Yeah, I'll try the next one because it's literally just one more. Yeah, here I can attempt it, but yeah, I'll share my screen. So like this one, we can see it's an increase.
It is an increase.
It's increase, and it's increasing, let's see, by 20, 40, 60 over 1.
Yep, 60 pounds per minute.
And initially at 0 minutes, it was at 20.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, great. Okay, let me find something else. I think, I'm getting stuck on inequalities.
Okay. Yeah.
So I guess this is a good one.
Let me see here. Let me just look real close, see if I actually need to snip this in.
Yeah, because I could also verbally be explained, but it's just like drawing the signs and stuff. I just get really confused.
Yeah, let me snip this one because there's just a small few things here that I think will help. Plus you get the notes later, so you can.
Right. Yeah, I like to. I'm writing them down.
You can get that. All right, share screen. All right, so let's do the we're gonna do the second one first.
Okay.
So the word at least is always greater than or equal to.
Greater than or equal to. Okay.
Okay, so you have to commit that to memory. At most is less than or equal to. And because you're a native English speaker, sometimes you can just sort of like answer the question, well, like, is 55 at least 55?
Right.
And you say, yeah, it is. Like sometimes the English helps us here. So this one you write y greater than or equal to 55.
Because it's at least. So it has
Yes.
to be 55 or more. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's
I think I think about it too hard when I like verbally say it. Like I say it out loud and then I get confused.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now for the first one, ignore the word no for a minute. This applies to other questions where like which of the following is not true.
Right.
You look for the ones, you go the other way. You say, okay, the fuel efficiency is less than, that means this symbol right there. Greater than is this way. So that would be F less than 45. Okay. But the word no negates it to F greater than 45. And the word no would similarly change this one to this one and vice versa, forwards or backwards. So I always do these without, even to this day, I do it without the word no, and then I just make the change. So to be clear, this is the answer that it's looking for.
And when it has the line under, that means, so we wouldn't be using, because wait, hold on. Okay, so no less than 45. So it means it can't, like, it's not going to equal 45 exactly.
So here's how I answer that. It's with a question, which I don't mean to do all the time, but is 45 less than 45?
Like, no, because they're equal to each other.
That's right. So that's how you know, because if it was less than or equal to, let me, my thing was, but I was trying to draw a line here underneath. There it is. Is 45 less than or equal to 45? Now it's yes. And that's one way to do these if you're really unsettled by the language. But I do like to remove that word and then flip the answer.
Okay, perfect.
Like that.
Okay, that makes sense.
So it'd probably be good for you to just share your screen for the next one, and I'll look at your answers, or you can ask me as you go to
wait, yeah, now that I hold up, I'll show the screen. It said the first one was incorrect.
Really?
Yeah, I'll show you. Second one I entered incorrectly. The first one it's showing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did make a mistake here. The no changes it to the other way with the greater than or equal to. So let's look at another one here.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And hopefully I'll give you better information here. Okay, so this one, if you read it, it says without the word no, it says the distance to the nearest exit door is more than 200 feet. So it'd be D greater than 200 feet. But since the word no, it changes to less than or equal to.
So that would be with the line underneath.
That's correct. Yeah, when it says or equal to, yes.
So like this.
Yes.
Okay.
And the second one, it just says less than.
Less than.
So that's the without the equal to.
Yeah. Let's see. So W.
You've got the greater than.
Oh, no less than. Oh, so it has this way.
Yes. Oh, it even gives you the word. I didn't even notice that.
Less than
on the when you hover over the inequality there on the right.
Oh,
there.
Less, greater.
Yeah.
No less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So then this one, to get the 10% discount, a shopper must spend no more than 100.
So you're adding the word no when you say it. I don't know if you.
Oh, right.
That.
I just realized. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So more than 100.
Just
so
more than.
That's greater. That's the same as greater than.
So like. Wait. No, sorry, more than. I keep saying no more than.
Yes.
Great. Is it this?
No. The great. Read it as greater than. Spend more than. Great. That means greater.
Must spend more. So
yes.
Here.
Yes. And I suppose you could put it into a context that you're familiar with, like you're going, you want to spend more than your gift card amount. Maybe that's a bad example, but
no, that's helpful.
Now the next one here, this is where I try to read it without the word not. To be eligible for a senior admission rate, a visitor must be less than. So I read it without the not. Must be less than 60 years old. So that would be Y less than 60. But since it's a not or no, the less than changes to a greater than or equal to.
So maybe less. So this sign?
No, yes.
The greater one
there. Yeah.
It must not be less than 60 years old.
It's very awkward when you read it exactly the way it's written.
Mhm.
But if you read it without the word not, must be less than 60, it would be y less than 60, y.
Oh, and
But
this
then,
would make sense because seniors, like
yes,
a senior citizen is over the age of 60.
they have to be at least that age or a little
Or
bit higher.
older, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, this is making a little bit more sense. Well, I will try to work on that one more.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's see. I'm just trying to find, like, that's easy. I can do that. I guess there's just some word problems where I get stuck. Want to find, oh yeah, these ones I kind of get stuck on the.
Yeah, these would be good to do together.
Okay, I'll just start it then. I do remember how to do some of these though, yeah. Okay, I'll just start it. Okay.
All right, let me grab a snip. All right, yeah, my screen should be shown here shortly. Two factory plants are making TV panels. Yesterday, plant A produced 12,000 panels. So we assume that means there's a joint operation that and then such. 4% of the panels from plant A and 1% of the panels from plant B were defective. How many panels did plant B produce if the overall percentage of defective panels from the two plants was 3%? So it's implied in here that the total A plus B is 12,000. Okay. But then so that's not the mixture part. That's what you would consider like a total equation or quantity equation. Now it says the 1%, I'm sorry, 4% of the panels from plant A. So you generally have these things as percentage times amount plus percentage times amount equals percentage times amount. If you don't like amount, think of it as quantity.
Quantity, right.
Okay. So the idea is that it's 4%, 0.04 of A plus 1% from B equals, and the overall total is 3%, 0.03 of A plus B.
Right.
Okay. And it, this is where most students get stuck because they're like, well, I don't know what A plus B is.
Yes, right.
That's why you got to have this total equation. So and similarly, we have to solve one of these variables for A. We got to solve this for A or B. Now, do you know if you're allowed to use a calculator? What are you allowed to use to solve systems?
Yeah, we're allowed to use a calculator.
Okay, so there's like a couple of ways to go from here. One is to use matrix and then reduced row echelon form. That from previous class. Because we don't want to do this by hand. Like that would be discouraged. But what do you want to do? Like, how do you want us to solve this? Because I mean, there's like really many different ways that
I remember I didn't really need to use like a graphing calculator or scientific.
Okay. Yeah, so you do not for this one. So we'll start out by just doing it by hand.
Yeah.
The A plus B is 12,000. Okay. And then if you solve, let's just say because they want plant B, we're going to solve this for A, this top equation. So this top equation when solved for A is A equals 12,000 minus B. And that's going to go in for A down here, 0.04, 12,000 minus B plus 0.01 B, like that. And notice you're down to only one variable.
Right.
So you still need some sort of a calculator to do the multiplication.
Right, yeah, I have one.
So the 0.04 times the 12,000, that becomes 480 minus 0.04 B is 0.01 B equals, and then the 0.03 times 12,000, you'll see that that's 360. Okay, and now you're just solving this equation. So combine like terms. So you have 480 minus 0.03 B equals 360. Swapping sides here, subtract 360, add 0.03 B.
Right.
So you get 120 equals 0.03 B, divide by 0.03. both sides. And again, that's where you would need maybe need another calculator. That's 4,000. And that's reasonable. That's kind of what we expect. Now we did this by not solving for A. If you had solved for A, you would have to go back and put that value into the other equation and find the other variable. The key thing here, among all the things I said, really is this. This is what you have to remember: percentage times amount, percentage times amount, percentage times amount.
Yeah. I think it's 400, not 4,000.
Let me check here what I've
Yeah,
got here.
because
So I'm looking. So here's how we can check. Okay. So let's just say let's go with, because I did double check this here. So that means that A would be 8,000. Okay.
right.
And then we've got to go back to this previous line here, the 0.04A plus 0.01B equals 0.03A plus B. And so we have to try those numbers in there.
Okay.
So it'd be 0.04 times 8,000 plus 0.01 times 4,000. Does this equal 0.03 times 12,000? Now, if you're like, hey, you know what, I think my answer's right, you would use your 400 here. And then over here would be, now, did I potentially, sorry, let me just make sure. Yeah, it is thousands. So then this other number would be 12,000 minus 400. It'd be 11,600.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so this is and this is how you check, especially on a test when the answers here are critical. This is what you do to say, okay, making sure my answers are right. And this one does check out. And again, do you think there's just it's a chance maybe just put it in the calculator wrong, or?
Yeah, that could have been my mistake, but I just entered 4,000 on Alex and it said one of your digits in your answer is wrong. Check your work.
Oh, no way, really? Wait,
Yeah.
maybe we did. Okay, let me check here. Oh, I used the wrong coefficients. That's why. I'm sorry. So I put oh no, 4% of the panels from A and 1% of the panels from B. What if the over percentage is 3%? B is 12,000 minus that. So you put in 4,000.
Yeah, and then it said one of your
Okay.
digits is wrong.
So the correct answer is 8,000, which I'm not.
Produced. It's 8,000 because that's the other.
That's the other one. Yeah. It's the only thing it could be.
Here, I'll just type it in and see. Okay. Okay, it said X was 6,000, so I'll share my screen. Let's see.
Let me take a look here. 0.04 times 12,000. Oh, I misread this. Yeah, I really, so
I also kind of like to write it like in this table format, so I know like what percentages and stuff to use.
Let me take a snip of that so we can use it for the next one.
Yeah.
I thought the total was 12,000. It is not. So that's why these are way off. Okay. I got that in this table format. Let's do another problem.
Okay.
Like that. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna grab. All right, so I should see my screen here shortly.
I can see your screen.
All right. So using this, we have to have a row for A and a row for B, and then a total row. Okay. Right. And a total row. Okay, now let's see here. So okay. So the 7%, 900 milliliters. Okay, solution. How many milliliters B does he use? Okay. Yeah, so I almost never use the tables. I gotta know what to put in each column here. Maybe I should after that last one there. Is this also the what? Okay. So the two solutions that contain alcohol and is mixing them with each other. Solution A is 7% alcohol, and solution B is 2% alcohol. He used 900 milliliters of solution A. Okay, so this is so I guess we can start with a quantity column. So it's in the wrong spot. Table here. All right, so we know that he's got 900 of A. B quantity is X.
X, which we don't know.
So the total is 900 plus X. Okay, and we know that A is 0.07%.
Right.
Okay, so if we multiply those together, that's the 0.07 times 900. And then for B, what is B? B is a 0.02%.
0.2, yeah.
So you multiply those together. Okay, and then we know that the total needs to be a 5% solution. That's 0.05 times 900 plus X. Okay, now the nice thing here is that this last column is the one we're trying to solve.
Right.
Okay, so that's the one we write. We write 0.07 times 900 plus 0.02 times X, or just X, equals 0.05. Like that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, now when we solve for X, X is giving us how much was in B, and that's what it's asking for. So we're basically done, except for the solving part, which is, a little tedious, but it can be done here. So 0.07 times 900, so that's 63.
Yeah.
Okay, and then 0.05 times 900 is gonna be 45.
Yeah.
Plus X. Okay, and it's 1X. So when you move some things around here, you're gonna get 18. You get equals 0.98X. And then you're going to take that 18 and divide it by 0.98. And that didn't work out nicely.
Let's see.
Does it say it all around? Doubt it.
Oh, when we just distributing the 0.05 to the
there
X.
it is. There it is. Yeah, thank you. 0.05. So that works out a lot better. That's in being 0.03X. When you divide 18 by 0.03, that ends up being 600.
Yes. So 600, perfect.
Okay.
So this is the amount.
Yeah, so the table, the great reason to use the table here is that tells you what you want.
We'll know where to plug in the value and we draw it out.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I liked using the table. So 600.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's correct.
All right, so let's take a look at another
one. Yeah, I'll share my screen.
All right. Yeah, let me snip this in. And looks like it's pretty similar in terms of we're going to make another table here to do this.
Okay.
Here we go.
Can you share your screen?
Yes.
Perfect.
All right. So it's nice that it's kind of A and B always, and then the total. Right. So we got A, B, and then a total here. So the amount she invested in Fund A was 3,000 less than the amount she invested in Fund B. So this time Fund B is X. It is also the case that X is the thing that you're solving for.
Right.
So 3,000 less X minus 3,000 has to be this order. So this is your dollar equation. So the total, if we need to add this up, it's 2X minus 3,000. Don't know if we need that, but that's what it is. And then the return, Fund A returned 8%, 0.08. So we multiply 0.08 times x minus 3,000.
Right.
This last one's always the product, I believe.
Yeah.
And then the other one is a 3% return, 0.03 times x. And then we know that the the profit from the two funds together was 1,630. So the product is the return. Like think of this as the return for A, the return for B. So we know that this equals 1,630. If they'd given us like together, she wanted a combined return of 5%. That's when we put it here and multiply. But they're giving you, giving this total to you. So you write it out here, 0.08 x minus, and I'm going to multiply in this time, 0.08 times 3,000, which is 240, plus 0.03 x equals 1630. So combine like terms. Add the 240. I'm sorry, there's no x there. Add the 240.
And then
it should generally work out to a nice number.
Like a nice number, yeah.
If it says that, unless it's just around, that's glad you clued in on that, because I would have kept going down the wrong path here. But this one works out nicely.
So
and that is the value in B. That is what it's asking for. The variable is almost always what it's asking for.
Right.
$17,000.
Okay. Yeah, that was correct. But yeah, I just have one more left, and I think I'll understand how to do it, or I can start attempting it. But
okay. I'll be
I'll share my screen again.
All right. So do you want to try this one on your own?
Yeah, I can try. Okay. I can work on it and then see what I get.
Sounds good. I've grabbed it.
Okay. Okay. So 2 vectors. And A. Okay, I think I kind of got stuck setting them up, or I wrote it in the table, but
okay. Let me share my screen, and you can see what's similar, what's different.
Yeah.
So the variable is the number of panels from B.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I have this. Okay, okay.
Oh, good. So it's this last column that you're
last column. I got stuck. I was like, how do I write this? Okay. Yeah.
It's always like something to column A, first column times the second column.
Yeah, I got stuck on the total of the 9,000 plus X. That's what I was missing. Okay, and then I can try. That's yeah, I got the same answer.
All right, perfect.
Yeah. Okay, yay. Okay, yeah, I'll find another topic and let's see. To do. Yeah, that was really, the table really helped me out. That was helpful.
Yeah, and the style of the problems on your quiz or checkpoint. I mean, they're going to be similar. So have these notes out and you'll
Right.
definitely know what to do.
Mhm.
So when you're ready, you have share your screen and we'll look at something new.
Yeah. I guess, let's see, I'm just looking, there was one more. Oh yeah, I think it was the inputs and outputs of a graph. Yeah, I'll share my screen. Because this is like really simple, but then there's some I keep missing for the like X value. So I guess like
Yeah,
here.
let me snip this just so
Okay.
you can see the visual, and then it'll be
Because
very
some
clear.
are easy to indicate and like see clearly, but then there's some where like I see if it's a quadratic, I don't know exactly like where to look, I guess.
Yes, understood. So this one you have to decide, are they giving you the X value or the Y value? So when they
Right,
so here they're giving you the X value
that's
of
the
1.
X, right.
So you go there and you go up until you hit the curve,
Mhm.
boom, and then you go left and you're like, oh,
That's three,
that's 3.
that's easy, yeah.
Okay. Now the other one, they're giving you the Y value.
Mhm.
So you go to the Y value, notice I'm starting on the axis, and you go left or right until you hit it, and then
Oh,
you
okay.
want the X value.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. So the first one was 3. Okay, I'll share my screen again. We can like talk through it too, but I
Sure.
can like
Yeah.
use
I'll
my
just
mouse.
yeah, I'll check your answers
Mhm.
after you've
Mhm.
yeah, so this one's a little harder, but the
Mhm.
so I was just doing B first when X
Mhm.
is 0.
0. So that would be -3.
Exactly.
So that's like those easy. And then this one is one value for X. So this means this is the Y, which
The
is
Y is 3.
3.
Yes. So go to the Y 3 and either go left or right and then go
That's
down to
2.
yes. It just wants one of them. So you can
So
put
2.
2 in. Yeah.
Right. Oh, okay, that makes so much more sense. And then like same with this one. So this is this one. We just look at 1 and we go down to -4. And then we have -1 here. And
I'll go to where your Y is -1.
oh, right, this means Y -1. So Y is,
And so you either go left or right until you hit the curve.
so it could be here.
Yes.
Negative,
And then go up to the X value there.
which is 2.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So it's like rise over run, basically.
Right.
Like, okay. Okay, perfect. Okay.
That might be one to go back and practice a few more if you can,
Yeah,
if
I'll
that's
try to.
available to you.
Mhm. This looks easy. I feel like I could do this on my own. I mean, I guess we can do inequalities since I do struggle with some of these.
Totally up to you.
Yeah, we can just attempt this. Why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and grab a fresh question here and we'll start it.
Yeah.
All right, so let me get this in my screen. All right, share screen. All right, John is going to rent a truck for 1 day. There are 2 companies that he can choose from, and they have the following prices. Okay. So company A charges $85. That's a one-time charge. All right.
Right.
B has an initial fee of $65 and it charges an additional 8 cents for every mile driven. They're helping you out here by telling you what the variable is.
Right.
Okay. So the idea here is you got to write something for A. A is it always costs me $85.
Right.
B is it costs me $65 plus 0.8 M.
Right. Yeah, I have that written down.
Okay, good. Now then you have to go to the language here. For what mileage will company A charge less than company B? And specifically, you're looking at that less than. So
less than. That way, yeah.
So you bring everything down. 85 less than 65 plus 0.8 M. Okay, and maybe you got this far. So you subtract 65 and you get 20 less than 0.8 M. Now this is awkward because it's the variable should be on the left. So here's how you rewrite it so that the variable is on the left. Notice, and I know they use some analogies or references to fish and stuff. It needs to be like, I look at this like this pointy end's pointing at the 20. this pointy end's pointing at the 20, or if you like the open mouth is pointing at the 8.8M, they have to be the same when you move it so the variable's on the left.
So why do we have to switch it to the other side?
It's always, okay, you don't have to. Yeah, I realize now you don't have to. You can divide both sides by 0.8 and get your number. But in the real world, like if you went to a conference room and you said that whatever this number is, which I think is 120, let me get the number here, 25. If you said 25 less than M, they will look at you like, what are you talking about? Like, that's weird. And if you say this, then everyone knows what you're talking about.
Right.
Now, I think it will accept this, although I've never tried in Alex, but this is preferred.
Yeah, I would prefer to, because I think that was another issue I kept having last semester because I was getting the right numbers. I just didn't know which way to draw it. And that's, I think this first option that you showed, the M being greater than 25, I don't think it'll accept that. I think it'll accept the second one.
Yes.
So I'll enter that in and see, because that was a huge problem. Not a huge problem, but just like an issue I had last semester. I was getting the right numbers, just drawing the sign or the inequality the wrong way. Let's see. Yeah, so it accepted the M is greater than 25, right?
And that's it's just a preference. And some of these systems require that. So why don't you share your screen and try another one, because you probably got it right, and I'll just make sure you're entering it correctly.
Yeah.
And I'll even kind of work it out here.
Yeah.
This one is a little bit different. So I would understand if you wanted to just look at it together. So right now I have it written as 33 plus 7.70 T with the sign, the going towards the 86.90. Yes, at most, and it's at most means a less than or equal to. Yes, that's correct. And then but you have to solve that explicitly for T.
Okay, right.
So work that out here, and let me know what you come up with.
Yeah. Oh, what did my calculator just do? So I have 7 is, or T, and then, or 7 is less than or equal to T.
Okay, go ahead and type it, because sometimes the way people speak this is not and it's not an oral exam, so you can, but let me, okay, so what you wrote is correct. What you said, I mean, forgive me, it was completely wrong. But what you said, what you typed in was that. So we read it from left to right. T less than or equal to 7. Maybe somehow you got convinced that the number comes first. I don't know. But this is right. This is really good.
Okay,
I mean, that's what matters.
That's what I have written down. I think I'm saying it wrong. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna check it. Okay, I'll try this one again. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I have it written as this.
Oh, so you've already solved it. Okay,
Yeah.
let me so so look at the answer, look at the way the what are the let's say this the least she has been charged.
Sorry, like the least. So it's gonna be no more than $96.
Yeah, well,
Like at most like 96, but no
see,
more than.
this one is unclear to me. Unfortunately, it's kind of the language is very odd. The least she has been charged. So I take that to mean that she could have been charged more than that amount. Like that's the lower limit of what she was charged.
Yeah.
So that switches. Let me just share my screen here real quick if I can do that. It switches it to this view where the 96.38 represents the
Oh, that makes more sense.
okay,
Yeah.
but it's, you know, these are just not like clean. They're really awkward. And so I guess I
So
would
now that I
say,
read it out loud, like that makes more sense that it wouldn't exceed over 96.38. So yeah, I think your example is correct.
okay,
I feel like I see where I went wrong. I'll type it in and see. Yeah, that was correct.
okay, great.
Okay, well, we do have like 3 minutes left, but I feel like that was good for today. Like I got what I
Okay,
needed help with.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Here, let me just real quickly here. I'm just going to stop
Right.